I found the photograph on a Tuesday. It was tucked inside an old book from a thrift shop, one of those battered hardcovers that smelled like dust and long-forgotten living rooms. I didn't expect anything. But as the pages fell open, something slipped out. It landed on my lap like a whisper from another lifetime. A photograph. Faded. Curled at the corners. But alive, in the way memories sometimes are. Even when no one remembers them. And that was the beginning. The beginning of a story I didn't know I needed to hear. A story of love, loss, and everything people try to bury, but somehow, it always finds its way back. Part 1. The photograph. It was black and white. Maybe sepia once, but time had drained it of color. There were 3 people. 2 women, 1 man. Standing in front of an old vine-covered house. The woman on the left had her hand on the man's shoulder. The woman on the right. She stood slightly apart. Smiling, but not with her eyes. You know how photographs can lie? Or worse, tell only half the truth? This one didn't lie. It just whispered. And I wanted to know what it was saying. Part 2. The clues. There was a name scribbled faintly on the back. Ines. 1954. That was it. No location. No date. No caption. But the handwriting. It was elegant. Old-school cursive, the kind they don't teach anymore. I looked again at the people. The man wore a suit, but no tie. A looseness to his posture. Like he didn't belong in formal clothes. The woman on the left wore pearls. Pressed lips. Eyes like secrets. And the one on the right, Ines maybe, had a ribbon in her hair and a sadness tucked beneath her smile. That ribbon caught me. It felt intentional. Like something important had been left behind in plain sight. Part 3. The research. That night, I couldn't sleep. I scanned the photo. Posted it in a forum for vintage photography. I asked, does anyone recognize this house? This style of dress? This kind of film? Most people said nothing. Some guessed the South. Maybe Georgia, 1950s. One person messaged privately. Said the man's lapel pin looked military. Possibly World War II. I started digging. I ran the name Ines through local obituaries. No luck. I reverse image searched the house. Nothing. But I couldn't stop. Because somewhere deep inside, I felt like the photo was watching me back. Part 4. The breakthrough. 3 weeks later, I got an email. Subject. I think that's my grandmother. A woman named Clarice. She said she was browsing online when she saw the image. She was almost sure the woman on the right, the one with the ribbon, was her grandmother, Ines Moreau. She lived in Mississippi in the 50s. Never spoke much about her past. Clarice wrote. She always kept a little box of photos in her bedroom. This looks like one I remember, but I haven't seen it in years. We scheduled a call. She sounded careful. Soft. She told me Ines passed away in 1999. Left behind a diary. Mostly blank. Except for one entry. Part 5. The diary entry. Clarice read it over the phone. It said, May 3, 1954. I loved him too. But it wasn't my turn to be chosen. I stood there, smiling like they asked. I wore my best ribbon. I told myself it didn't hurt. But a photograph can't lie to itself. And neither can a girl in love with her sister's fiancé. There was silence after she read it. Long silence. I didn't know what to say. Because suddenly the photo wasn't just an image. It was grief. Unspoken. Pressed between pages of time. Part 6. The house. Clarice and I stayed in touch. She sent more pictures. One showed the same vine-covered house. Another, a wedding photo. Same man. Different woman. Her great-aunt. Ines never married. She never did, Clarice told me. But she loved fiercely. You could feel it in the way she made tea. Or talked to the wind. We never found out what happened to the man. But the photograph, that quiet rectangle of faded memory, it told me more than words ever could. Part 7. What photographs carry. Sometimes we think photographs are about faces, smiles, poses, perfect hair. But that's not it. Photographs are about ghosts. They're about the things people didn't say. The touches that almost happened. The eyes that almost met. They carry more than light and shadows. They carry longing. Part 8. Why this matters. Since then, I've started collecting lost photos. Thrift stores. Estate sales. Abandoned albums. I don't want to own them. I want to understand them. Because each one, every curled edge, every faint smile, holds a grief someone forgot to pass on. And I think, maybe that's what we're here to do. Remember the ones who didn't get remembered. Say the names that went unsaid. Give voice to the quiet girls with ribbons in their hair. Final thoughts. So if you've ever found a photo and felt something stir inside you, you're not imagining it. That's memory, trying to find its way home. That's grief, gently knocking. And if you listen close, you might just hear the story whispering back. Like I did. On a Tuesday. From a photograph. No one thought mattered. Until it did.